Hello and kia ora. Welcome to another RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under recap. It's season 1. It's episode 7. And last time we had the family resemblance makeovers. So Kita won. Scarlett and Maxie had to lip sync, and we had to see Maxie sashay away. Well, we start off. Maxie's message was pretty cute. You know, she had to stand on a stool to write her message. Which I thought was so cute because she is just a little thing, shorty. Elektra seemed a bit peeved about Scarlett winning the lip sync. And then she made her comment about, oh, I noticed you did the splits there. A little bit of shade. And then we opened, so we're back in the workroom. Peta admits that her final list did not include Elektra. So this kind of puts a little fire into Elektra's belly because she wants to prove herself really bad. Rue comes in.
Can I just, okay, I know this is completely off topic, but, this is a thought I had during the show. Now, when they apply to be on Rue and then they get accepted to be, go on the drag show, wouldn't they have to request the time off of work? So, wouldn't they have had known each other were going to be on the show? Because she works there?
Technically, probably. But they're not allowed to tell anyone what they're doing or where they're going.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. But, ironic that all three, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure Elektra put the time off, and Anita and Kate were like, oh, I wonder what she's going to be doing during that time.
Right. Because ironically, we're both off at that same time period.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I know when I've had to take time off, to do Netflix and stuff like that, I can't give specifics, but I just say I'm filming something for Netflix, and then that's all I can really say.
I wasn't, I get it. That was my thought process through the whole thing.
We'll discuss Anita's show at the end of this recap because, oh, girl. Anyway, okay, so back to the show. Comes in to give them their challenge. It's all about the talent. The Down Under Talent Extravaganza. And because Kita won last week, she gets to select the running order of the show. So she could be shady. I mean, she's not really, but she's like, oh, I could do a bit of Sabo. Scarlett and Elektra both want to be in the last. Both want to close the show. They both feel like that what they're doing is, quite different and interesting. I'll give them that. It was. They each were. They discussed their plans. Elektra is going to do modern dance. Karen worries that it won't be drag enough. Scarlett is going to do a pole dance, which when I first heard this, I had no idea exactly what it was going to be, but holy crap. When we get to that, oy vey. Kita tries to decide and says putting Elektra last may sort of, F with the other people. And then so she ends up doing it. She puts Elektra in the last spot. Scarlett is a bit miffed about not getting to go last. But Art is loving that drama. Rue comes in with Raven in tow. Art gets all tingles, and honestly, I got a little tingly myself. I was pretty excited to see Raven. Elektra is basically turned on by Raven. I mean, she is flirting all over the place. And she said, I just need help with makeup, and but she says that she has the X factor.
Would have flirted with Raven too.
Kita's doing a magic quick change, a magic, and and then Kita sort of talks about her inner demons, how that self-doubt that comes creeping in. Tells Rue she's doing some dangerous moves on the pole.
And Scarlett said it was her first time performing on the pole. I got a little nervous for her because I was like, if you've never done this before,
yeah.
I mean, I would just be flopping on like a whale. I couldn't even. So
Well, I mean, she obviously had to rehearse this, but she's never performed it in public, obviously. But I'm
Yeah.
sure, I mean, she would have had to practice the crap out of that routine. Oh
Mhm.
my God. So, Art is going to do something with food and their big mouth. Rue's not a fan of the whole food in the mouth thing. But then Art says, do you have any advice from Raven, for after Drag Race? And Raven says, don't read social media commentary, which is good advice. Erin is making balloon animals. She discusses her control. She's having trouble letting go of control. She's uncomfortable, but she's going to give the whole sex kitten thing a go because apparently that's what they want to see. Is they want to see Karen sexy. Anyway, I don't understand why she's freaking out about it because, or why is it that everybody thinks sexy has to be sleazy? It doesn't. Sexy, Or am I wrong now? Am I just too old fashioned
I
to
don't think
think
you're wrong.
there's more
I
to
think that
sexy
Karen
than
from finance could have done the sexy, like executive, sexy receptionist kind of thing, like
yeah,
Romeo and Michelle.
yeah, like old Hollywood glamour, like sex kitten kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that would have been adorable. But anyway, she gets all freaked out about it. She gets in her head and all that stuff. And they showed a picture, a wide shot of the Harbor Bridge in Auckland as they were painting out for, I imagine, when they went to commercial on TV.
We didn't see that.
I'll include a picture in the. Oh, first up, for Karen from Finance, they said it took. And then she does it, and then that was it. Um, and I was hoping for at least two. I thought she should have done more than just the poodle.
I think she got into her head.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that she was, if she thought that the sexy part would be enough, I think that she just did
Maybe.
one animal, but I think if she would have went through the whole routine, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of sounded like it was sort of like she had a background music that had the sound effects in it. So it's kind of like she must have had some sort of routine and maybe she had to chop it around and it seemed like she had too much at the beginning and then not enough time. And maybe they said, you have X amount of time to do this. And
Yeah.
then, so she's just like, okay, well, we start at this point and I have to end at this point or whatever. So, I mean, again, we don't know how the editing works and all that stuff. Art Simone basically shoves a lot of food into her mouth. The pie that she did on the first go, that's like a meat pie you can buy at any dairy or gas station or wherever here in New Zealand. But yeah, the end though with the fist, I
That
guess.
was hilarious.
I was not a fan. I just don't see how that was a talent and how that was better than Electra dancing.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I feel it. Key to Mean, the Magic Quick Change show. I thought, I mean, it was fun. It's something I've seen before, but the outfits were nothing special. But I guess in that kind of thing, it has to be a certain fabric in order to be able to do the quick change and all that.
Are you just saying that because you think that's what it really is because Rue said that?
Well, that's what I thought in the beginning, and then Ruth said that, and I was like, that makes sense because that's what I thought too. I mean, but I enjoyed it. I thought that was better than Art Simone.
I agree.
Yeah.
I also think that it took too long for her to get to the first quick change.
Yeah. Well, that's like the same with Karen too. But to be fair, I think Kita did a better job than Karen did, if I'm being honest. Because I mean, I love Karen. Believe me, I love Karen. But she only did the one balloon.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So it's like I thought it's like how did Karen not end in the bottom two? I was surprised. But anyway. But then okay, so we go to Scarlett, who does that pole performance to this that theme song that I sent you gals from House of Drag, that Devil in Disguise. I love that song. It's such a good jam. And I could not believe, first off, where was her junk? I was like, where did you put that?
Yeah, that was out of this world. Even
Right.
Rue and them said that, like, immaculately tucked, like, insane.
How nothing popped out. All those different moves. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Wow. I mean, say what you want about Scarlett Adams, but that was unbelievable.
It was really great.
All right. Well, then after that, then Elektra had to close the show with her modern dance, which I thought it was a great dance. I thought she did a beautiful job, but that wig was so
was
jacked
horrible.
up. Oh my God! Why would you?
She's been read so many times about her wigs and makeup that she should have known that she needed to have that on point.
That is all you're gonna do is wear a wig, because I could get the costume. So.
And being a dancer isn't an excuse. I mean, we've seen Alyssa Edwards dance in full drag. We've seen how many other queens do it. She could have just did up a little bit.
Yeah, but it was so ratted and it was just sad. The runway, how's your headpiece? All right, up first is Karen in that pink poodle realness. Oh my God, that thing was so amazing.
And that's why she wasn't in the bottom.
I think
she saved herself.
It had to be that because that was unbelievable. As Michelle said, her makeup was so good, I wanted to lick her face. I mean, she looked just beautiful. All right, then Art was like the butterflies and the crystals. Art called it gum nut baby realness. I don't know what that means. Gum nut baby realness.
No clue.
No idea.
Does anyone know what Art is saying any of the time though?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a good statement. Yeah.
Kita Mean, she does sort of a Club Kid robot realness sort of.
I loved it.
I loved it too.
Amazing.
They loved it. The neon hair. She looked like an anime character, and like I could totally see an anime program with Kita Mean in that. I mean, that was amazing. I thought the lights were just even.
I really like the silhouette on her a lot. And it's the first time where you saw Kita not necessarily looking like Kita. It was like a different aesthetic for her. It worked really well.
Yeah. It was so good. So good. It was more science fiction than it would have been camp. So yeah, I think it was amazing. Really good.
I think my favorite part though is she towered over everybody by at least a foot because of those
shoes. Those are some Spice Girl shoes, man.
I thought of that too. All right, and then on to vintage Hollywood Scarlet, sort of a Ziegfeld Follies. I like the old Hollywood glamour. That's one of my favorite kind of looks, and I thought she looked really pretty too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel like we've seen that from Scarlett 100 times already.
I don't know, but I mean, she looked great though.
She did. She looked great.
All right, and Elektra, sort of a chorus line. I really liked it. I really dug it. I thought it was really cute, well thought out. Yeah,
I thought it was cool because of the swing.
Agreed.
Goes with it.
Elektra's was one of my favorites. All right, so the judges critique. Girls all come back out, and Rue says that awful thing which I hate. Who do you think should go home? Well, of course, pretty much everybody throws Elektra under the bus. They backed it up so that they could all throw her under there. Oh my God. And well, then when it gets to be her turn, she says Art because she doesn't feel Art has grown personally in that, and I would say that's
I
probably
don't
fair.
disagree with that.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair assessment. I do. I was like,
I agree.
that's not wrong.
Electra's definitely shown the most growth, but I understand why everybody wanted to send her home because her performance, she should have known better than to wear a ratty wig and
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. Well, then they have Untucked, and you know how that always goes. The Electra was a bit shocked that everyone said her name, but I mean, she shouldn't have been. But you know, it's like, sometimes that's like that sort of a herd mentality. So it's like, all right, well, everybody else is saying this. I'm just going to jump on board so I don't piss off anybody else.
Yeah.
You know? That's just my thought.
Especially if they all kind of thought that she would be the one going home tonight. They're like, oh, we'll just say her and stick with that. And
Then you're not pissing off anybody who's still in the race with you.
right.
Yeah. So then, while they stress out before things start to get too uncomfortable, the Veronicas show up on screen for moral support and to distract them a bit. But then they don't distract them. They end up saying, come right out and asking, all right, who's the tops and who's the bottoms? Who deserves the crown? It's like, holy crap. So Kita gets a few nods because, you know, people say, well, she's been consistent. But then they say, well, Electra's shown a lot of growth. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I agree with what Kita said. If they were giving the crown to the person who showed the most growth, it should go to Electra.
Absolutely.
Because she's definitely shown the most. But that's not who gets crowned. I do have to say, just I am very happy that I knew who the special guest was, and I knew every word to the lip sync song. I was very excited about that.
Yeah.
Karen is safe, which I was surprised because I really thought she would have been in the bottom. I'm sorry, but I really thought so. Like at this point, who does Rue want, you know? So it ends up being Electra and Kita have to lip sync. I thought it would be Electra against Karen.
I think that Karen saved herself at the runway. I had a pretty good feeling it was going to be Kita and Electra.
Did you? See, I thought Kita did so good with her runway too. But I mean,
Yeah.
I was
but
hoping
that
it would be
headpiece, that Karen's headpiece though, oh, that was to die for. I don't know. It is so hard. I mean, I love Karen too. So it's just like, I don't know. And I guess it was Electra's time because now at this point it's down to the wire.
I'm not a fan of Art and I'm not a fan of Scarlett. And it's between Kita and Karen for me.
Same. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
But I honestly think that Rue set it up because Kita had not been in the bottom yet. She hadn't had to lip sync for her life yet. And that had been brought up. And so I think a way to get Electra out and take her out and have her, one of her girls from home take her out. And it gave Kita the opportunity to lip sync. So kind of boom, boom.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah, just look at the actual lip sync. I think that Electra outdid Kita.
Yeah.
100%. And no shade to Kita at all. Her boots, I wouldn't have been able to run around like Electra in those boots either.
Yeah.
But
that is so fair.
Energy levels, they just weren't on the same level at all.
Yeah.
Our final four include Karen, Kita, Art, and Scarlett. So that is our finale is next week, and so that's what we'll be doing next week. But before we say goodbye, I got to go to Anita Wiglet's show this past Friday. It was so good. It was so good. So funny. Of course, I'm like, I've got to get my merchandise. So I got us each a dap candle because who doesn't need a dry ass pussy candle? And I got autographed pictures of Anita. Not just one, but two.
That's awesome.
Yay! It's a great time. The show was great. We got more of her background story. I love her even more. And she's great. I love her to pieces. I love her to pieces. I just do. And I'm so glad that we get to go. So, yeah. So, if you get a chance to see Funny Girl with Anita Wiglet, I say definitely do it because it's so good. I know she's added some extra shows, so that's always cool. That is it for me. You guys got anything else to add?
I'm excited to see what happens. Who comes out on top?
Right. Who will wear the crown? That wraps up this episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Recap. I'm Mama C, and with Nikki and Amanda. Have a great day wherever you are.